Okay, go. All right, in the dye substitute, when I got cut off, there's one I didn't tell you. He's special. His name is xylene.
Wait, is that in?
This is not under polysubstituted, but I don't have anywhere to write it. This is a dye substitute that I didn't tell you in the last segment because I ran out of time. Xylene occurs when you've got two CH3s. So this one is called O-xylene. And then if they're one apart, it's M-xylene. If they're opposite, it's P-xylene. I just want you to put that over there in the box of the ones that we're going to know someday. So xylene is a special name when you've got two methyls coming off the benzene. Yes, I know it could be O-dimethylbenzene or O-methyltoluene, but the preferred name is xylene. So that's just a PS from the last segment. And then we're going to do polysubstituted benzenes. They're easy, won't take long. That's when you've got three or more things hanging off the benzene. So can I chunk xylene?
Yes.
That's a yep. All right. So you can't use OMP with polysubstitutants. Let's take this guy and just put some stuff on here. A Cl, a Br, a Cl. All right, it's kind of like the cycloalkanes. You just find the lowest numbers. And there's only one that could come off per side, so, or per corner, so it's kind of like not that hard to figure out where to start. I would start here and go this way, because that'll give me a 1, 2, and a 4. Well, what comes first is bromine. You're going to call it 2 bromo, 1, 4, dichloro. And what's the last name? Benzene. The last name is benzene because there's not a parent name there. Now, I wanted to change this, and I probably should wait, make sure you get this before I change it. I'm going to put a parent name on there and see how it changes the name of this thing. So again, polysubstituted, 3 or more things hanging off. The max that could come off is 6, because it's out 6 corners. All right, so what if I took this and I changed it to an OH? I know you can't really do that with your pen because you have a different color, because you just watch it. If that's an OH, the rule is this has to be number 1 if it's one of those parent names. So now the name would be 2 bromo, 4 chloro, and what would the ending be? Phenol.
So that still goes last when we make it.
Yeah. And this is understood to be number 1, wherever that parent name is. What kind of questions you got? I'm going to give you one you've heard of before. I'm going to take CH3, put some NO2s here. Okay, this one you've heard of, you just don't know you've heard of it. Do you see a parent thing in here anywhere? I can't hear over the air conditioner. So you said, yes, I see the CH3. It's a toluene. This is going to be number 1. You can go in either direction, you'll get the same numbers. So what are these side groups called? It was new today.
Nitro.
Nitro. So the numbers for the nitros would be what?
2, 4.
2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6.
Wait, why does the 1 start there?
Trinitro, because if you've got a parent name, it has to be number 1.
Oh.
And I know that's a problem if you got 2 parent names. I'm only going to give you 1 parent name. So because he's a CH3, he's number 1. 2,4,6 trinitrotoluene. Anybody know what that is? Here's a hint. TNT. Yeah, an explosive. It gets its name, the TNT, from the trinitrotoluene. There are a lot of chemicals that you just know the initials of them, and the initials come from the structure, like DDT. Well, you don't know the name of it. It comes from the structure. Anyone know what GHB is?
Date ranger?
Something no one knew. Yes, gamma hydroxybutyrate, date rape drug. I don't know why you know that. There are a lot of them. There's this gasoline additive, MTBE, I think. Or the rocket fuel, HTPB, the big initials are derived from the names. There's nothing that's that much tougher here except for this one little side group thing I've got to show you. So I'm going to go to the next slide. What's my time looking like now? 5:15. Okay, I can knock this out really fast. Okay, the last little thing. You know how we had methane, and when it's a side group, it's methyl. Ethane is a side group, it's ethyl. What if you had benzene as a side group? What do you think it would be called? As a side group. Don't look at the top.
Benzyl.
It should be called benzyl. It's not. It's called phenyl. There is a benzyl group. I'll put him over to the side. It's quite irritating, but there he is. This CH2, that's called a benzyl group. I guess he had already claimed the name. This is called a phenyl group. Think of these like side groups, like a methyl, an ethyl, chloro, something like that. Well, when would it ever be considered a side group? Here's an idea. 1, 2, 3. What if I had a chain of 4 and I stuck that benzene right here? What do you think his name could be if this is a side group?
3.
And this is butane. What's my number?
2.
2. Oh,
Yeah.
2.
He's a side group. Yeah, I'm assuming you're just shocked. 2-phenyl butane. See, you've got 4 butane. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just like a 2-chlorobutane, only this little thing's hanging off. Does that make sense?
Why do you have 4?
There's 4 right here, straight across. So that would be butane. The phenyl's hanging off the second one. So you could call this 2-phenyl butane. If that was a BR, you would know it would be 2-bromobutane. But there's another name for it. I'm going to mess with your mind a little bit. What if this was the base, benzene? What would this side group be called? Somebody knows.
Butane?
I thought I heard it.
That one's really.
One of the funky side groups. Here's a hint. Sec-butyl-benzene. It could be called sec-butyl-benzene if this was the base and this is a side group. You could have methylbenzene, technically that's toluene. You could have ethylbenzene, isobutylbenzene, isopropylbenzene. If I took that off, it would now be isopropylbenzene. Or what's the other name? Just imagine, you have to write it down. Isopropylbenzene or 2-phenyl propane. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
So let me throw a couple other things at you. We're really done with the weird stuff. I'm running out of time. Oh, what if I had this? This is nuts. I'll pretend like they both have 6 sides. One hooked onto the other.
Glasses.
Yes, that's kind of what it is. There's 2 benzenes hooked together. What do you think that would be called? One's got to be the base. One is the side group. Close. What if this is, what's that thing hanging off right here? Phenyl, yeah, I heard it. Phenyl benzene.
How do you know which one is the side group?
Either one could be.
So like there's
Doesn't
2
matter.
answers for the one at the bottom?
It's kind of like there's 2 answers and which one is right, they're both right. I asked my professor at UAB once about some of these aromatics. And I said, this one's got 2 names. Which one's right? He says they're both right. I just gave right. I said, all right, they're both right. Let me just throw a couple more at you. How's my time looking?
9:18.
9:18? Okay. Okay, what if I took... There. You could call it, I'll give you these 2 and then the tape will be gone and I'll have to quit. Benzylbenzene or diphenylmethane. Okay, think on that.